What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So it's fight week for Keith Thurman versus Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Highly anticipated pay-per-view event this Saturday. You're going to get a legend colliding with a current star in the sport of boxing. That's what you're getting ready to get, right? And of course, everybody's going to start making their predictions. Everybody's going to start breaking down the fight, giving their thoughts and their opinions on the fight and things of that nature, right? With that said, Sugar Shane Mosley chimed in and gave his prediction and his thoughts and his breakdowns of this fight. Shane Mosley feels like Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao is going to be too much for Keith Thurman. He says that he's seen Keith Thurman perform numerous of times. He's obviously been in the ring with Manny Pacquiao, and he says the thing that's going to surprise Keith Thurman, there's two things that's going to surprise Keith Thurman. One, being the atmosphere in such a big fight and the circus that surrounds the fight when you fighting Manny Pacquiao, such a legend, a la when you fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr., right? He said that it's different, regardless of, and Shane Mosley has been in big fights his entire career, right? Shane Mosley was that star. As he stated, you know, he was a knockout artist in the lightweight division, probably one of the, if not the best lightweight to ever lace him up. Definitely top 3, top 4, right? He was knocking out everybody. So Shane Mosley was a star in his own right. Then he alluded to, we've seen Keith Thurman have these issues where he chooses to try and coast in the second half of the fight. In his last, you know, maybe 3 fights. You know, he tried to do it with Josito Lopez, but that nearly backfired on him. And Josito Lopez forced Keith Thurman to fight the entire fight, right? He had to stay on his P's and Q's. He wasn't able to do it with Showtime Sean Porter. As we know, Showtime Sean Porter, his style just keeps so much pressure on you. He's so relentless. You know, he don't give you a chance to breathe. He don't give you a break. But in that fight, Keith Thurman barely won that fight. He edged it out, maybe by 1 round, 2 rounds at the most, right? Because he was forced to work the entire fight. With his fight against Danny Garcia, he won the early rounds big, and he coasted the rest of the fight, giving people the opportunity and giving them the chance to say, you know, Danny Garcia, they thought he won. Where he won the first couple of rounds so big, as he was running away with it, I think he could have eventually stopped Danny Garcia, in my opinion. But he chose to try and coast the second half when he realized he was up big in the fight, which is a dangerous thing to do in the sport of boxing, because we know the judges, any given night, any given Saturday or Friday night or whatever night they fight on, mainly Saturdays, you know, the judges can see it a whole nother way. I just watched a fight with Franklin this past weekend, Friday, and Franklin clearly lost the fight, but they gave it to him. So, you know, and this is nothing new in the sport of boxing, right? So with that said, Keith Thurman's not going to be able to do that. Just not. He's going to have to be in the best shape of his career. He's going to have to be the sharpest in his career, right? He's going to have to be super focused, laser focused in on this fight. Manny Pacquiao is not going to give you breaks like Sean Porter. But the difference is between Sean Porter and Manny Pacquiao is Manny Pacquiao does it from a distance, where Sean Porter smothers his punches. Manny Pacquiao doesn't. He lulls you to sleep. And this is what Shane Mosley pointed to. This is the reason why he cited that Manny Pacquiao is going to defeat Keith Thurman, right? And he won't be surprised if Keith Thurman gets stopped. He says that, Shane Mosley said, being in the ring and sharing the ring with Manny Pacquiao and watching Manny Pacquiao up close so many times, he says what gets you is his surprise power. You know he has power, but when he touches you, it's surprising. And we saw when he dropped Shane Mosley, the look on Shane Mosley's face was absolute surprise, right? Shane Mosley's not making this up. He was absolutely surprised. He was like, he was jolted. He was shocked. He was like, what just happened here? Hold on. This dude just did what? I just got dropped. Shane Mosley's eyes look like, whoa, what just happened here, right? So he surprised Shane Mosley. And Shane Mosley is like, with the speed that he still has, he's still faster than Keith Thurman. And Keith Thurman even admitted that Manny Pacquiao is faster than him, right? So Keith Thurman said, yeah, Manny Pacquiao has the speed advantage because he said that I wait for openings and then I try to use my speed to capitalize on those openings. He said, but Manny Pacquiao, he has combination speed. You know, he throws these quick combinations and, you know, it's woo, 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 woo. You know, and you know, so he gives him the edge and the speed advantage, even Keith Thurman, right? And so with that said, we know he has power. And I asked Keith Thurman, I said, are you gonna have to stay away from his right hand? And he said, yeah. He said that, his left hand, excuse me. He said that that's the biggest weapon. Obviously, you have to stay away from that. But we know that Freddie Roach has Manny Pacquiao back working on his right hook. You know, his right hand was at one point, at some time in some fights, you could see it show up, and then sometimes that right hand just doesn't show up. But they making it a point to have that right hand show up in this fight. They don't want that right hand to be absent in this fight. And I believe that Keith Thurman will be shocked by the power because of the speed, is what Shane Mosley is saying. Because the speed that he delivers it with and the pop that he has on it, it surprises you. So it kind of freezes you and holds you in a place where you're inactive, right? Inactivity against Manny Pacquiao, you're going to lose. And so this is what Keith Thurman is saying, that, you know, at times, you know, that power that shows up for Manny Pacquiao, and then all of a sudden you're surprised and you're like, wait a minute, this dude got some pop. I mean, we know that he got pop on his punches. It's expected, right? Going into the fight, nobody mistakes him for not having power. He said, but when he touches you with that power is when you really understand how much power he has, and you really understand that one mistake made in a fight with Manny Pacquiao could cost you the fight. So it makes you hesitant, and he's still active. And so now you're thinking more than you're fighting, more than you're boxing, and you know, you're not going to go to the scorecards and beat Manny Pacquiao. That's not going to happen, right? Especially when he's the aggressor. Not going to happen. And so Shane Mosley is like, listen, Keith Thurman, we seen Keith Thurman hurt. You know, we seen Keith Thurman, you know, overthinking and worried, overdoing it with his defense. That's not going to work with Manny Pacquiao because he can cut the ring off. So he's going to make you fight. And if he touches Keith Thurman, Shane Mosley said, you know, we seen Keith Thurman get hit and hurt to the body. But Manny Pacquiao is not a big body puncher, right? He doesn't target the body often, right? He's more of a combination puncher. You may get a hook or two to the body every now and then, you know. But Manny Pacquiao is focusing on up top, right? Waist up. Shoulders up. You know, so with that said, you know, but I think that Keith Thurman could be underestimated in this entire situation. I think that obviously we look at Keith Thurman's last couple of fights, and he didn't look the greatest in the fight with Josito Lopez, but he was coming off a long layoff, and he was coming off of an injury. So, you know, we can't put too much stock into that Keith Thurman that showed up, the Josito Lopez version, right? But, you know, just off of past history, guys like Lennon Bundu, where we see Keith Thurman said that, you know, he was working on stuff. You know what I mean? You know, he took the opportunity. He knew he could stop Lennon Bundu. He could beat Lennon Bundu, but he took the opportunity, you know, to sharpen his skills. You know, pretty much a live sparring session is what Keith Thurman was stating that, you know, the Lennon Bundu fight was. Everybody points to the Lennon Bundu fight when you're comparing Shane Mosley, Errol Spence Jr. and Keith Thurman, and we know how that the ending with Errol Spence and Lennon Bundu, we know how that turned out, right? So Of course, you know, people point to that when we, you know, trying to compare the two, Keith Thurman and Errol Spence. But I think that Keith Thurman is being underestimated. I think his ring IQ is being underestimated. I think his boxing skill set is being underestimated because Manny Pacquiao is a legend. He's done a lot in the sport. But Manny Pacquiao's shortcomings in his last couple of fights is not being highlighted like Keith Thurman's are. I think that Manny Pacquiao absolutely didn't look the same in his last couple of fights at all whatsoever. I think that Manny Pacquiao age has started to show. He's obviously started to show that he's slowed down, and I don't think that too many people are taking that into account when you're comparing him to Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman obviously knows he's the younger fighter. Keith Thurman obviously knows that Manny Pacquiao is 40 years of age. Manny Pacquiao using his legs against him, using his age against him is key for Keith Thurman. And Keith Thurman has power. You understand? Keith Thurman has power. The problem with Keith Thurman, his last couple of fights, is he stepped up in competition, and because he realized he wasn't getting you out of there one time early, I think he chose to get the decision. He started to talking more and more about Floyd Mayweather's approach to fights in the second half of his career. Money Mayweather, because Pretty Boy Floyd was a hound, man. He was a dog. He got you out of there. If he could get you out of there ASAP, he was getting you out of there ASAP. He was a dog. You understand? Money Mayweather was more the guy, was strategic, break you down, win on points, get out of there safe and sound, get the victory, do what you got to do. Like he said, I done what I needed to do, got the victory, and I'm gone. That was Money Mayweather. That was more due to his age, pacing himself. His hands was injured, and the wear and tear on his body. So Money Mayweather obviously was different than Pretty Boy Floyd. And you start to see Keith one-time Thurman adopting that mantra. You start to see Keith Thurman's quoting Floyd Mayweather more and more as time goes on. He's saying, I watched Floyd Mayweather win 7 rounds. As long as he got 7 rounds, he got the job done. He got out there with the victory. Yeah, that was Floyd Mayweather approach. Floyd Mayweather wasn't Pretty Boy Floyd approach. That was the second half of his career. That was Money Mayweather. That was after the Juan Manuel Marquez fight. Should I say after the Ricky Hatton fight. Started with the Juan Manuel Marquez fight, because he could have got Juan Manuel Marquez up out of there, Floyd Mayweather. He chose to let Juan Manuel Marquez stick around. I think that we might see Keith Thurman attempt to do what Floyd Mayweather did, but he's not Floyd Mayweather. And he will quickly learn in the ring that he's not Floyd Mayweather. He's going to have to let his power show up. He's going to have to earn Manny Pacquiao's respect early, where Manny Pacquiao is hesitant, because you can make Manny Pacquiao hesitant. You can do that, right? You could drop some power and some heat on Manny Pacquiao, and he would be hesitant. So he can do that. He can put Manny Pacquiao in a predicament where Manny Pacquiao is hesitant to let his hands go. But you still got to win cleanly. You understand? You ain't going to win no decision with Manny Pacquiao where the judges have to really make a decision, especially after that Jeff Horn situation. So I can't wait to see how this fight plays out, because it's a passing of the torch, so to speak. It's a fight where it's still a 50-50 fight, because Manny Pacquiao still has a lot left in the tank. But when you're on the wrong side of 40, Father Time can show up when you least expect it, and things can happen. And especially when you got a guy like Keith Thurman with the power that Keith Thurman has, I wouldn't be surprised to see Keith Thurman stop Manny Pacquiao. And I said this before in other videos, that I expect to see, I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm thinking that Keith Thurman may drop Manny Pacquiao at some point in time in this fight as well. Because Manny Pacquiao is susceptible to the straight right hand. And Keith Thurman has power in his straight right hand. He's accurate with that straight right hand. So I think that Manny Pacquiao too could be surprised by Keith Thurman's power, how much power Keith Thurman has. You know, so hey, but Manny Pacquiao is laser focused. Keith Thurman woke up a sleeping giant, so to speak, with insults that he dropped on Manny Pacquiao, and Manny Pacquiao seems very, very focused. So I'm eager to see how this whole situation plays out, man. But that's all I got for y'all. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blood Sports TV, all one word. You already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. Sugar Shane Mosley says that Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao will defeat Keith one-time Thurman, and he wouldn't be surprised if Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao stops Keith one-time Thurman after he shared the ring and watched Manny Pacquiao up close and personal for so many years. That's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue. Peace.